Most of them have so many things going on.
In Havre de Grace, at the mouth of the Susquehanna River, is an inconspicuous but invaluable resource for first responders nationwide.
I recognized early on when I was a firefighter just how deprived this community is of getting the right kind of help. They're sicker, they're more mentally ill today.
Retired volunteer firefighter Ken Beyer is the founder and CEO of Harbor of Grace Enhanced Recovery Center.
I just saw how sick, mentally ill a lot of first responders are that suffer from addiction and depression, anxiety, and other mental health disorders, and they don't get any help for it. They don't get the right kind of help.
Ken was once one of them.
Medically, psychiatrically.
Now sober himself. It was a place just like this. He knew those just like him so desperately needed.
They're a very difficult population. They're very private.
A place where first responders struggling with mental health and addiction problems can come and let their guard down.
We see in the last 3 or 4 years increase in anxiety, depression, other process addictions.
I only wish I would have got here a decade sooner.
Robert Quick.
I joined the police department in March the 2nd of 1995.
And Robert Brown.
Served 32 years and a couple months. Just recently retired July 1.
Are both former Baltimore City police officers with a combined nearly 60 years on the job.
"32 years in a place becomes your identity. You make a lot of great friends, which become family."
And while it's clear the badge has fulfilled them in many ways, it took a lot from them too.
In 26 years, I had buried subordinates and coworkers from line of duty deaths. I'd seen friends get injured on the job, wearing colostomy bags from being shot on the job. Handful of lawsuits, handful of high-profile incidents. Was involved in a police-involved shooting. A lot of trauma, a lot that occurred in that period of time.
For Quick, it was addiction that brought him to Harbor of Grace.
What started as a socially drinking became more and more dependent on alcohol.
Found to be under the influence at work, he knew it was time to get help.
I never drank on the job. I never drank before the job, but was still at an intoxicated level from drinking the night before, many hours later, while on duty. And I had no idea that was the case and that's where I was.
When checking in at the recovery center, patients first go through a medical and psychiatric assessment, spending a few days here in the medical wing.
We look at their home life, we look at what does their recovery look like when they leave here. Is there a good family support system in place? Is there a good departmental support in place? So we look at everything here, and then we assign them to the right therapist, the correct therapist that's going to be able to help them with their particular needs.
Each patients have their own sinks for their own personal hygiene and cleanup, medical supplies, fresh bedding and linens, and a place for them to unpack and make this home.
Encouraging them to face their demons.
So coming here and actually getting to work with a counselor, getting to unpack that, getting the educational piece around trauma and stress and triggers and whatnot, really opened my eyes and allowed me to start dealing with things in a healthy and proactive, productive way, as opposed to just turning to a substance to numb myself.
And it's more than just addiction treatment. Often it's officer-involved shootings and other traumatic on-the-job experiences that bring first responders in.
We'll say it was a critical incident.
For Brown, one day on the job, the details of which he's choosing to keep private, changed everything.
I kept thinking about it. I didn't, I just kept thinking about what I could have done better, everything you can imagine, I thought about it.
He spent a week in recovery along a community of other officers who just got it.
One of the guys, who is a great friend now, he looked into my eyes and said, "There's nothing there. There was no life." He goes, "I've been there, I've done that." He goes, "You need to be here." So I came.
With inpatient and outpatient care and a 24-hour mobile response team,
These plaques represent either the badges or patches of different law enforcement agencies that have actually had persons come through the programs.
the Recovery Center has helped officers from all 50 states
Baltimore County, Baltimore City, Anne Arundel County,
and served 700 agencies nationwide.
It's been a godsend.
It's had such an impact on Brown and Quick.
Go with that.
I go with that.
Now they're both full-time employees at Harbor of Grace.
It's very rewarding.
It's a whole new career.
We have a saying around here, nobody comes in here on a winning streak, generally speaking, but once people are here, they absolutely love it, see the benefit, and say that they wish they could have got here sooner.
And while they've hung up their uniforms,
You'll always be a cop. You'll always be a cop.
at their core, they're still the same.
I love watching guys come in, beat down, and just seeing them bring life back into them.
Just two men with a passion for helping others,
Watch them smile and giggle and laugh and cut up with everybody else.
who also had the power to help themselves.
It just makes you feel good.
In Havre de Grace, Maxine Stryker,
It's nice to give back to your brother or sister.
Fox 45 News.